Yo,
So yeah.
so I wanted to talk about this because I was on Twitter the other day. My ass was just scrolling as usual, right? I was scrolling and I saw this one tweet that had like a picture of like a yellowed out scene, right? From like that, like looked like Mexico, that was supposed to be Mexico with like a yellow filter over it. And someone straight up said, like, why does every American movie depict Mexico as this like dusty ass yellow area that's like everything is like a desert. It's like hella hot all the time, all this stuff. I'm like, damn, man, like movies really out here, like there's still so much work to be done on representation in movies, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not or what? If you're trying to tell me that when you go to Mexico, it's not fucking dusty and it's not fucking hot.
Yeah. I mean, listen, some
I
parts of
mean,
Mexico are dusty and hot. Not all of Mexico is dusty and hot though. Let's be real.
bro, like I grew up, driving down dirt roads, to get to my tia's house, like always. You know what I mean? Still, if I go right now, 2021, I'm still driving down a dirt dust. I got every time I come back, dude. Like I can never get the dirt off my car, bro. Like,
So goodness is Mexico is a dusty ass Mexico
I
filter.
mean, there's a beach, obviously. I don't know. I mean,
Well, then you look at like all the different parts of Mexico. Like you go to the north where all the mountains are. Like Mexico City isn't dusty. Like
yeah, bro. But I mean, come on. It's cinema, bro. It's literally like
true, but
it's like
that's
yo,
also
man, you're in the middle of Tijuana in the middle of the desert with like cartel members in a movie. You're not gonna make it look like tapas and beer, right? Yeah, man.
I mean, I feel like you'd be legally reprimanded by portraying Papas and Beer because of all the debauchery that happens at that place. Like you'd have to
Man, bro.
rate your movie NC-17
Oh my god, bro. Like, dude, if those walls can talk.
if those walls could talk. I mean, it made me think though. It made me think when I saw the tweet of like, all right, like there's so many good movies out there. There's so much good film. Obviously, like Mexico and other like quote unquote like developing countries, whatever you want to call it, whatever America's decided is a developing country, um, always get portrayed similar ways. You know what I mean? Across the board,
It's
pretty.
it's what is it saying? You might know this. The story is always told by the victor, or was it?
Yeah, exactly. History is always told by the victors. That's
and
me.
you are and you are here to tell us a story, Victor.
Exactly. 100%. Always.
So,
That's always my goal.
but if you watch the Luis Miguel special like on Netflix, which is I'm a
Uh-huh.
big fan, you see a whole different part of Mexico. You see like the super elevated like Spanish influence, like business, savvy,
Hmm.
or I mean, an elegant side of Mexico. Well, not too elegant. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Though, like they're living in like
This
Puerto
is the rich side
Vallarta.
of Mexico, not the
Yeah,
not the poor ass dusty places
yeah,
apparently.
exactly. You know what I mean? It's like beautiful beaches and stuff. Like so. You know what I mean? It just depends who's telling the story and what the story is about, right? I
Yeah,
think
100%.
I think
100%.
everybody gotta stop being so sensitive, bro. Like we're like I think real Mexicans don't really fucking care about shit like that. Like we got things
That's
to do.
not true. That's
I,
100% not true. No,
I
that's
mean,
a
dude, yeah,
major
you fucking
generalization.
nerds. It's all you guys nothing else. Ponte a trabajar, cabrones. Go get a
That-
job.
that's a hundred
Stop
percent.
fucking. You had a bad day on Bitcoin and you fucking try to take it out on the world and shit.
Nah, food, Dogecoin, bro. Get your coins right, dude. Get your alt cryptocurrency right.
You're all
No,
day
I,
trading and
I
shit.
think I think first of all, that's a major generalization that has no basis in fact. Two, I think that that's also a generational thing, right?
True. I guess.
100% a generational thing. And like it's interesting because the reason that it is a generational thing is because the older generation of folks who came here were more concerned about just making a good life for themselves and not too concerned about everything else that had to go with that, right? You just deal with the bullshit and you work through your day and you don't let it phase you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obviously, as more generations happen, I mean, I'm first gen. I'm the first of my family born here, like from my family tree, right? Like the first
Right.
generation born here. Um, as more generations pass, that changes, right?
Right.
Because the cultures start to become more, not even just assimilated, but like adaptive and like changes and switches. And there's more of like a mix, right? So I think people have some point have picked a battle to fight in the sense of like, how does actual representation look like? You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like for people so that it's not like the same fucking like short, super brown, fucking like farm worker Mexican that's like the story that's ever told about every Mexican. You know what I mean? Because obviously that's not true.
Well, I
Like
mean,
that's a big
obviously,
part of it, but that's not all of it.
it's obviously, it's who's telling the story too. We need more Mexican
100%.
directors. We need more that I agree. But at the same time, is fucking, that you make your own history. Like, let's go make some history, bro. Like,
Right.
like you Latinos, you make some movies, bro. Like, make some movies and tell the story the way it's supposed to be told. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my only advice I could give to the world, is that fuck, you know, that's the way they're trying to depict a movie. Like, you know what? And not until like 80 something, the first time I saw, like, I used to see people break dance all this time in my neighborhood, right?
Mm.
But the first time I saw it on fucking TV, I had to see a fucking flash dance, some fucking stupid ass movie about a chick that fucking dances and shit and bartends. I don't know what the fuck she did. She dumps the fucking bucket of water on her. Yo, I had to fucking fast forward to that movie just to see that part where the fucking dude breakdances, like just to see a little bit of hip hop. You know what I mean?
I mean, and the subcultures are a big thing too. And
Yeah.
you know what's interesting actually on that point, and on this point in general, actually, now that you bring that up, is like, yo, at what point when you start to see like representation of your subculture, like whether
Right.
it's hip hop or b-boying or skateboarding, is it not cool anymore? Like, does that shit make it whack?
Did a jump shark?
Yeah, right. I mean, what were your thoughts? You saw that and you're like,
That was cool because it was like the first time you ever saw it. And then Breaking came out and all those other movies came out. And you're like,
right.
oh shit. All right, now we have something. But you know how long it took us to like now it's part of every day. Hip hop is in the soundtrack, everything's hip hop now.
Right.
But there was a time when you barely saw a glimpse of your culture, your subculture
Right.
in a movie that had nothing to do with your subculture.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that, I mean, that's so wild. That's such a wild thing. Like, yeah, that's interesting. Cause it goes beyond just like, race, ethnicity, cultural representation, but like the subcultures, you know what I mean? Like the things that kind of really define people beyond that, right? Because
Right.
not everyone identifies first and foremost by like their gender or their race or ethnicity. Sometimes it's like, nah, like I'm a skater. I'm an indie head first and foremost. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the thing that's most important to me. So
And then I mean, like, and back to your point about like, that we need, when it's a different race, doing a story about a different country that they're not from, it's kind of, we need more people that tell that story better. I agree. And, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, how many times do you see Mexicans play Mexican roles? Never.
facts.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you always see like some like Middle Eastern dude or an Australian dude play a Mexican dude, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is he a cholo? Like,
Yo,
or like,
you know what that made me think of when the world realized that Mr. Capone wasn't Chicano or Latino at all.
that's dude.
That was like,
I think people still fuck with him. I don't know. They're like,
I mean,
he's like my cousin. And they're like, hey, cousin. He's our cousin.
I mean, honestly though,
primo,
like,
primo.
he's still talented, so it's like doesn't take away.
Is he
but, like,
Pakistani or some shit? Huh?
yeah, he's Pakistani, like, or
Yeah.
Paisa fact, but like something in that realm, and like, everyone was under the impression he's like Little Rob or MB Riders, like, this like Chicano, like Latino rap, whatever you want to call it.
And it happens all the time, bro. Like, it's weird though, but like, it's like humans. I mean, we're humans and we're acting like humans sometimes, and sometimes it's not a good thing, like,
What do you mean? Say more.
I mean, even if you go back to like, Cesar Chavez and all those things, if you really look deep into that, they were fighting for, obviously great wage, better wages and stuff like that, and health conditions, right? Life living conditions, which is important. But they're also boycotting, not letting other Mexicans come and work because they were going to
Yep.
take their job. You know what I mean? So it's
Yep.
like,
I mean, he was like all for,
you know what I mean?
Mexican Americans, not for,
You take it a deep
undocumented immigrants.
you take it another generation forward, and you got your Chicano culture that
Mhm.
really doesn't like, the paisas. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just like, why are we hating this ourselves? We're all the same. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I
Yo,
mean? You know what I mean?
let
Like, oh,
love lead the way, bro.
yeah, I mean, exactly. And then, speaking of that, like, we saw that fight last night, Canelo, right?
Mhm.
And, why was it such a big deal that he's doing his fucking, interviews now in English, and like he's, because he's a little bit better English now, so he feels comfortable now, and
Yeah.
people are praising him. All the white people in Texas are like, "Oh, I'm glad he's speaking English now. Like he's normalizing." You know what I mean? Like, you know what I
Yo,
mean? Like
I
isn't
just
that
think
it's
of
like a backhanded compliment? You know what I mean?
it
Like, because
is a
he's from
backhanded
Mexico, because
compliment.
he doesn't even live in the U.S. He lives in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no, it's
he's Mexican.
and he's not like Oscar de la Hoya, who was like
Yeah,
representing Mexico and America. Like
yeah.
he was, the golden boy between both areas. No, he's 100% from Mexico representing Mexico.
And he stayed in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he has a house here. I don't know,
I mean, well, shit.
but but
Why
but
not? With that
but
money?
he's not claiming U.S. citizen and shit, right?
Exactly. There was a really funny thing I saw online after the fight. Uh, after he gave that interview, that last interview, someone was like, so how many, he's holding like a bunch of belts, right? I don't remember how
Right.
many he has, like 4 or 5 or something. He's holding a bunch of belts, and the meme says, so how many belts do you have? And then Canelo responds, Viva Mexico, cabrones. And that shit killed me because I mean, fuck, dude. Like at the end of his interview, he's like, "Thank you, everybody, so
Yeah,
much." Like
yeah.
all this shit, and then he's just like, "Viva Mexico,
I,
cabrones!"
I,
Like,
about the press conference after when what's his name, Andre came in
oh
trying to
yeah,
talk to me. He's all, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So
oh
then, like, my cousin, like, fuck you, motherfucking bitching for you.
fuck you, motherfucker.
Fuck you, beach motherfucking bastard. Fuck you. Shit, fucking mother. You stupid.
Oh man, yo, we're probably low key perpetuating this shit now. Now that I think about it, but it's funny. But it's funny.
Uh, yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, by some facts.
At the end of the day, though, like I think, we work. It's a balance of working toward like, all right, not all of this place is this fucking desolate desert ass, dusty ass place. Like, no, like Mexico's a fucking legit ass country doing legit ass shit. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's different than Mexico. It's a different culture, or than America. It's a different culture. But at the same time, and I think we can both agree on this, sometimes you can't take shit too seriously. Period. Sometimes you can't take shit too seriously because you take life too seriously, you take everything too seriously, and life goes on without you, right?
Yeah, let's go own the shit. Let's go own this.
Exactly.
Let's go own the studios. Let's go.
Exactly.
Make our own movies and shit.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. And
Viva
we'll
la
just
raza,
in the
homie.
movies we'll just have Canelo speaking English roles only.
Exactly, bro. I'm proud of being Mexican, bro. But
Oh yeah.
I'm also American, but I'm definitely proud of being a Mexican American.
Yeah.
But I'm not a Chicano.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
That's
you know what I mean?
that's a political thing, right? That
Yeah,
everybody
like,
has a
yeah,
different identity representation.
yeah. And you know what? Love is. You say, love. People feel different things about love, or love's different for different people. But you know what love is?
What's love?
Everything. Everything, bro.
What's love got to do with it?
Love is everything. Everything is love.
There we go.
Remember that.
Yo, this is a good conversation, man. I appreciate having these talks with you because this stuff's important. It's important. It's hard conversations because we're talking from all different perspectives, right? For everyone who's listening and watching. Yo, for you watching, thank you so much for keeping on tune with us. Thank you so much for sticking with us, for being supporters. We really appreciate it.
Ponte a
100%.
trabajar, cabrones.
Yeah, fool. Now go ponte las pilas, way.
Let's go, man. Go get it, man. Stop.
All right, y'all.
Remember, subscribe and all that
Like,
shit.
subscribe, comment, share, fucking follow these artists, share everything because they need it. We're all about here about pushing the artists first forward all day. Yo, thank you so much for supporting Water the Plants. Thank you so much for supporting all the artists who come through here. This has been the Greenhouse. Yo, we'll catch you all next week.
Thank you, guys. See you later. Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.